Welcome to Knockout Adventures. It's early July in Iceland. We are going to be going down the F-232 today. It passes over a waterfall. Yes, the water crossing is on top of a waterfall. I am so excited to try that. And then later on, at the end of it, if you hang out left, going west on the F-210 to check out Mælifell, which is a dormant volcano covered in moss. 4-wheel drive only past this point on the Highland roads. These aren't exactly the best tires to be doing this, but this Jeep Renegade is a Trailhawk edition, and it's advertised as trail rated. Yeah, I really do miss my Bronco. The road's pretty washboardy and bumpy. We're sitting at 2.5 bar for pressure on the tires, which works out to about 36 PSI. We've got 2 air compressors in the vehicle, one that we bought from Canada and one that came with the rental. So I'm going to air it down maybe to 28. I don't want to have to pump it up too high later on. It's going to make the ride a little bit smoother. Got a couple small water crossings. This is the first one where I'm actually going to get out and walk it just to check. It doesn't look too deep. So the Jeep Renegade has got a water fording depth of 19 inches, and my rubber boots are 15 inches. So it's a pretty good way to tell. If the rubber boots can do it, there should be no problem with the car. All right, we're here. And it doesn't seem that bad. Less than my boots. And the drone's giving me a heck because the battery's low. Crossing the waterfall was a lot of fun. We reached the point just past it where Google Maps says the road ends, but we know the road keeps going. It goes all the way up to the F210. So we're just going to keep going down here. Screw you, Google. We're on our own now. We've got Onyx. Actually, Juan and I have been out here for just over a week, and we've been mapping some of the F-roads for Onyx. So by the time this video is posted, you should be able to see this trail with photos and details on Onyx. We've reached the end of the F232. Now this is the F210 running east and west. If we go east, there's one of the largest river crossings in the country that we're not going to even attempt. We're 2H small of a vehicle. And then over to the west, the F210 on road.is is marked out as red, impassable after a certain distance. We can get up to Mælifell to a certain distance where there's maybe a river crossing or something. Pop the drone up and see how close we can get. But yeah, that's definitely a no-drive zone. Unless you've got like a super Jeep and you know what you're doing. But according to road.is, yeah, impassable. No driving on red zones. The roads we've been doing in the country have been green or green dots. The green dots are just mean mountain roads. But that's still okay with us because we've got little tires, 4-wheel drive. Yeah, we're going to go down there, see what we find. Over in the distance is Maelifell, and there's a huge wide river crossing to get there. So 2 big trucks going through it right now, and just past 2 other big trucks in the opposite direction. One and I drove off this rock down into this and then decided to back up and park on something a little bit more dry. I'm going to guess that this down here used to be covered in water at some point. So I don't know if it's soft or muddy. I don't want to find out the hard way. So we just parked up somewhere a little bit drier. And now we're going for a stroll. Without these yellow markers, you would have no idea where the road is. Like, some of them may have even been washed away. I can't see any till way, way off in the distance. Way, way off in the distance. And yeah, there are some soft spots in here. I would not risk driving a tiny little Jeep Renegade in this. I got some experience with mud, but not wet sand. But after review of the situation here, Juan and I came to the consensus that if we were here with our Ford Bronco bubbles, we would do it because it's our car. And I'm okay with that. But we're in a rental car and I don't want to get stuck. But this place, this whole country would be so much fun with a Bronco. Especially our Bronco. South of Mælifell, you can see a glacier in the distance. Just standing here, I can feel my boots are just slowly sinking into the quicksand. All right, now let's go east until we hit that other big river that we can't cross. This is one of the more challenging river crossings that we're not even going to attempt. Made some new friends here in the Land Rover. They made it across the first part, but they're not going to try out the harder part. And I think there's somebody else on the other end. They drove from the F208 down the F210 to here. And yeah, this is the point where they should turn around and go back. If they come down this, it's bad news. Real bad news. Thanks for joining our Iceland adventure. We had a great time. It's not very often you get to drive over a frickin' waterfall. Check out our other Iceland videos and then catch our Bronco content.